All right, so welcome to this video. My name is Tutor Solutions, and I'm from Discrete Learning Institute. And in today's video, we are going to solve questions from tutorial sheet 1 for the course Introduction to Probability. Okay, so you can see the course there. So if you're taking the probability course, then this is the right video for you. So now, tutorial sheet 1 will cover a number of concepts that you have to know in probability, and mainly it will be on the foundation probability concepts. So this tutorial sheet has 12 questions, and those questions are going to cover the following areas. So the first one, we're going to look at questions on sample spaces and events. So as someone who has done probability, you need to know how to list all possible outcomes of an experiment or specific outcomes of an experiment. So we look at the sample spaces and events through these questions. We're going also to look at questions that have to do with basic probability. Okay, how do we find probability using the classical definition? So that will just be the probability of an event is equals to the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total number of outcomes, right? We're also going to look at questions on counting techniques. So counting techniques, it involves permutations, okay, and it also involves combinations where you're trying to select some items from a group or so. Okay, so we're going to look at those concepts and we're going to explain them in a very easy way such that everyone here actually understands. Okay, the last concept of questions in this question is going to cover the binomial probability introduction. So these will involve questions that have to do with repeated trials with the bias coin. Okay, so find the probability of heads, find the probability of tails, okay, given that the coin was tossed 3 times, such questions. So we're going to solve all the questions step by step so that you actually get to understand and appreciate the beauty of this course probability. All right, so without wasting much of your time, let's start solving these questions from the first question that we have there. Welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to look at a question where we are trying to construct a sample space for a pair of dice. All right, so the question says, describe a sample space that might be appropriate for an experiment in which we roll a pair of dice, one red and one green. Okay, so we know that a die has 6 sides. And then here we have 2 of them. We have one which is red. We can draw it like that. Okay, so this is the red one here. And we have one which is green. So something like that. So they get these 2 dice, okay, and then they roll them. And then now they're asking us to describe the sample space, or in other ways, we want to list the sample space. So we know that this die has numbers 1 to 6. So we can say, okay, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this side, and then the other side there 4, and then that is 5, and then down here it's 6. And it's this, the same applies to that green die. Okay, so when we roll these 2 dice here, how can we describe the sample space? All right, so first of all, I'm going to say, since the 2 dice have different colors, we can distinguish them, okay? So R is going to represent the outcome on the red die, okay? And then green, or I should say G, is going to represent the outcome on the green die. Okay, so that we differentiate them. So now each die can show any number from 1 to 6. Okay, each die can show any number from 1 to 6. So the outcome, okay, that you get whenever you roll this a pair of dice is just going to be R, comma G. So meaning that the red one can show 1, and then the G shows 2, or it can show 1, the G shows 6, or the red one can show 6, the G shows 1. anything, but as long as it's a pair of numbers from 1 to 2. Okay, so the first number will be representing the red die or the outcome on the red die, and then the second number will be representing the outcome on the what? On the green die. So we're going to say the sample space. Okay, we can write it as a set notation. It will just simply be R, comma G, okay, such that R takes the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the green also takes the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the sample space if you'd like to represent it as a set builder notation. Okay, but a very good representation is representing it in a table form. So let's draw a table here. Okay, so this is my table here. I should use another color. Okay, we use black. Okay, so I'm going to make 6 columns here for 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, for 5, and then for 6. And then even here, I'm going to make 6 columns. So for 1, okay, for 2, for 3, for 4, for 5, and then the last one is for what? For the 6. Okay, so we're going to draw a line here, and then I'm going to say the columns are going to, the rows will represent the red, the outcome on the red die. Okay, and then these columns here will represent the outcome on the green die. Okay, so the red can take 1, can take 2, can take 3, can take 4, can take 5 or 6. And the green can do the same: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So meaning that my sample space, if I list it, it's just going to be here to be 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. Here to be 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6. Here to be 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, and then 4, 6. This one here will be 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, or 5, 5, sorry, here. And then 5, 6, and then 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, and then 6, 6. Okay, so this one here will be my sample space. Okay, so that's how we can easily describe the sample space of rolling a pair of what? Dice, to just be in a table form. 1 here, okay, the columns, we can say they are for the green ones because you can see the columns, and then the red, it's for the rows. So this is 1 and 1, no wonder here I have 1, 1. Okay, this is 2 and 1, I have 2, 1, just like that. Okay, so that's how we can easily describe the sample space, okay, for rolling a pair of what? 2 dice. And then also it's important to actually state the number of possible outcomes. So number of possible outcomes in this sample space here will just be 6 multiplied by 6, or you can count them 1, 2, 3. By the time you reach here, it will be 36 outcomes. So there are total possible outcomes. The total possible outcomes are 36. Okay, and it's also important to note that because the dice have different colors, meaning that if I have 1, 2 and 2, 1, these things are going to be different. Okay, because this 1, 2 simply means the first one is that the red one shows 1, the green one shows 2. And then if I look at this one, it means the red one shows 2, the green one shows 1. So the order there is important. Okay, and these two outcomes are actually different. No wonder I'm saying the total possible outcomes are actually 36 because I'm counting each and every one of those outcomes that I've shown there. All right, so that's how we can simply answer this question. Let us look at this question where we're trying to construct a sample space for the useful life of a certain electronic component. All right, so the question says construct a sample space for the length of useful life of a certain electronic component and indicate the subset that represents the event that the component fails before the end of the 60th year. Okay, so what we are going to do first of all here, I'm going to say let X represent the length, okay, of useful life of the electronic component. Okay, let length represent and let X represent the length of the useful life of the electronic component in years or measured in years. Okay, so now we know that this length of the useful life, we're just measuring time. Okay, how much does this electronic component survive? We're just measuring time. And we know that time can never take any non-negative value because time can never be negative. Okay, so the sample space will just be continuous and it will therefore be represented as the sample space. It simply equals to a set of OX such that X is greater than or equals to what? To 0. Because we said X is the length of useful life of the electronic component in years. So you can buy this appliance that has a certain electronic component, and then that electronic component actually um, gets destroyed before even a year elapses. So it means that the name for that electronic component was what? Was 0 because it didn't even manage to reach 1 year. Okay, so the sample space will be anything between 0 and positive infinity. So you can also write this as a set interval notation. It will just be from 0 all the way to what? To positive infinity. This is the sample space for the length of useful life of the electronic component in years. Okay, so the component can fail after 0 years, it can fail after 1 year, it can fail after 2, 10 years, 50 years, and so on. All right, and then the other part was that and indicate the subset that represents the event F. What is the event F? That the component fails before the end of the 60th year. Okay, so that event F will just be a set of all x's such that x, okay, is between the 0 and is less than what? 6. Because they said this electronic component is going to fail before the end of the 60th year. So meaning that X will be any value from 0 to what? To 6. And we can also represent this as a set interval notation to just be from 0 all the way to what? To positive 6. All right, so those will be our sample space and that will be our event there. All right, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to access the full video solutions for that paper, you can find them at discretelearning.com. All right, so I'm Tutor Poul Solutions, as I said earlier, from Discrete Learning Institute. And Discrete Learning Institute offers supplementary lessons for a number of courses. Okay, so those courses include linear algebra. You can see here there is financial mathematics, introduction to statistics, introduction to probability, introduction to real analysis, and analytical geometry and calculus. Okay, so if you're having challenges with any of these courses, you are free to subscribe with our website and you're going to find helpful materials on our website. And in each of the courses that you can see here, when you subscribe with Discrete Learning Institute, you're going to access solutions to quizzes and tests. You're going to access solutions to tutorial sheets. Okay, you're going to access solutions to final exam past papers. You access solutions to assignments. Okay, and also we are going to provide topic lessons, concept lessons, and the like. We will also allow you to consult from us. So meaning that if you are watching some of our videos, okay, on YouTube or on the website and you don't understand anything, you can simply direct inbox us. Okay, you can DM us and we'll be able to help you just get a clear picture of whatever concept that you are trying to get. Okay, so these are the services that we offer and we are available to help you if you have any challenges in any of them. Okay, so let me show you the website. Okay, for those who have never seen the website, I can show you the website here. So you just open Chrome and then type in discrete learning.com and then you go to the website. Okay, so you just wait for it to load and ta-da, you are inside the website. So this is our website here. This is how it looks like. But if you're a first-time user, it's going to actually ask you to create an account for yourself. So you just put in the normal details, your name, your email, you set your password, and then when you log in, you will see something like this. Okay, so we offer a range of courses. So if you know anyone who is in first year, we do offer first year courses. Anyone who's doing a medical program, pharmacy, biomed, nursing, we also have lessons on that. And then we have lessons on second year mathematical courses, third year mathematical courses, and soon fourth year mathematical courses. So it all depends on whatever lessons you are looking for. So you can see on top here, we have these filters to help you just navigate through the website. So if you're in second year, just come and click here, second year math courses. So we click second year math courses, and you are going to see that it's going to take us to where the courses are. So these are the second year math courses that we currently have, and more will be added to the website. So you can see there's linear algebra, intro to real analysis, analytical geometry and calculus. Some call it Math 2100, Introduction to Probability and Statistics, Financial Mathematics, Stats and Probability for economic students. Okay, so you can subscribe for any of these courses and we'll be able to help you, okay, prepare for your assessments and for your final exam. So for example, if I open this course here, you'll see that I'll find exam papers, I'll find tutorial sheets, I'll find some topic lessons, and all the help materials that we've uploaded there to just ease um, your academic pressure. Okay, so don't delay. Just head over to discretelearning.com and subscribe for any course of your choice to access helpful materials as you are preparing for your assessments, for your exams, for your tests, and for quizzes. Okay, so if you want to subscribe, you can actually just check the description in the video below. Okay, it's going to show you a link to our website, a link to a video that helps you create an account if you don't know, and a link to a video that will tell you how to actually subscribe for this course and enjoy the materials that we have. Okay, but if you want to contact me, please do. My number is 0779 96 40 and then 10. So that is Tutor Poul Solutions. You'll be able to reach me when you inbox or call that number. All right, so thank you so much for watching. This has been Tutor Poul Solutions. Until next time, always there for you.